Y'all, getting all of our links sent out. Give me just a minute. There we go. Let me grab the link. For people. This. Okay. Now. Go. Almost there, y'all. Happy Halloween. Let me know when you're here. I'll put it in the group. Come on. There we go. Who knows? Chemicals. Y'all, are you excited for this? Do we have any pregnant people? All right. We're almost there, y'all, I promise. This will post. All right. Everybody's good on the Facebook front. Like I said, let me know. Oh, we have people. Hey guys, yes, I am feeling better. Thank you for asking. Living in Colorado, we have bipolar weather, cold one day, hot the next day. It's crazy. Sam is here. Glad you're here on your last day of work. Ha ha ha. All right, y'all. So, what we're going to talk about today is a resin alternative. Have you ever heard of that before? Resincrete, Jesmonite, Pure Cure. There's a whole bunch of different names that it's called. But essentially, and this is Let's Resin version, Magic Pour. Comes in a big bucket, which I like, but can't get in the way. So I pre-measured out my powder and my water to make it easy. Let's talk about what it is. This is dependent on zero chemicals. You don't have to worry about being exposed to chemicals with this, which makes it perfect for pregnant people, pregnant women, families. This is something your kids can do with you. People who may be going through chemotherapy, who can't be exposed to chemicals. This is perfect alternative. If you have been doing a lot of resin lately and you're breaking out or you're having a reaction, this is a good way to take a break from the resin and the chemicals and still be able to use all of your silicone molds that you have for resin, but just a different way. That's all. Now, I wanted to show you guys this. I have my handy dandy scale that I always use, but this powder is measured by weight. So it is usually a 3-to-1 ratio. is what I found. But it depends on what brand you're using. So pay attention to the directions for whichever one that you're using. And what that means is I can do 100. Well, I didn't tear this out. Okay, so let's do it properly. Tear out my cup. So now we're only looking at just the powder. So I have 100 milliliters, grams, whatever you want to call it. I have 100 of my powder, and I have 30 of my water. And y'all, I just keep a bottle of water handy when I'm doing this. And you saw the powder is in that bucket. So that's easy. Now, I do have other videos on this, and I'm not going to go into a lot of depth about coloring this. We will talk about it, and I'll tell you what I found, and I'll show you some examples. These are some examples of what you're looking at plaster-wise. It's just, you can hear it. So you can pour it, and can you just take a metallic marker, go over the details on it, and you have a cute little ornament. Easy enough. I make these cute little animal faces, and then I'd make up little packs, and you can do it one of two ways. You can put these blanks in, and then put the little pop top acrylic paint with a little paintbrush, and these make great party favors for kids having birthday parties. I've done a few of these where parents sent them home so kids had something to take with them. Some parents did like a tea party birthday, and they used these as an activity. And you can use acrylic paint, you can use markers. They can decorate their own and take it home. So these are great for that too. I have a little kitten and a little bunny, and I have my little molds here. So we're going to make some more of these today because they're fun and they're easy. But there you go. Now, let's talk about how this cures. Raise your hand. Have you used this before? Have you done this? Tell me in comments. Let me know. I'm curious if anyone's done this before. I love it. Y'all, it's super smooth. And I'll talk about this because I know I'm going to forget it if I don't do it right now. This plaster is porous, meaning it absorbs, right? So once you get through with this, you need to seal it. And this is what I use. It's just a beeswax. And you can just, it's just a wax. And what I do to seal my projects is take just a paper towel, put it on my finger like so, and just rub it all over the project like that. And I'll do 2 coats. I'll do one, and I'll set it aside and let it dry, and then I'll do another one. And this just seals it. So, oh good, you haven't done it. I'm glad you're learning this because it's really fun. It seals it so water can't get in there and break it up, right? Because it's porous and because it uses water, it's water-based. So you want to keep moisture out of it. And that's how you do it with a beeswax. And I think Teakspert has got a sealant, and theirs is glossy. This is not glossy. Teakspert has a glossy one that your finish will be super shiny and all of that, if that's what you're looking for. I kind of like it just like it is, matte. Now, let's talk about coloring this stuff before we mix it. Because the one thing you're going to learn, and that's why I have it in different cups, is once you start mixing it, it does not take long to start setting up. Kind of like if you've ever worked with concrete, a lot of people have used that too. And you know, you can still use it with your silicone molds too. Once you start mixing it, start setting up. So when you start mixing it and you get it all combined, you need to get it in the mold that you want to use, because this cures through water evaporation. That's how this cures. That's why it's no chemicals involved at all. Um, the water just evaporates off. The longer it evaporates, the more cured and solid your piece is going to be. And I'll tell you, let me look. See if it's on the front. I don't think it is. No, that's not. Let's look at our handy dandy instructions. Y'all, I love Let's Resin because they include very clear directions on what you need to do. I just want to see what they say their cure time. Okay, they're saying 30 minutes. Let me tell you a secret. You can take these out at 30 minutes. But if you have an intricate mold, like if we were doing the snake and we have a tail, or if we're doing a dragon and we have claws or wings or something like that, if you take it out at 30 minutes, your piece is very tender. And you're going to lose your wings, your toes, your tails. They're all going to break off. So, my advice, don't take it out at 30 minutes. Take it out at, I usually let mine sit 4 hours. That way, it is good, cured. I'm not going to lose like this little hole to put a hanger in for an ornament. If I took it out at 30 minutes, I'm losing this hole. I won't have it. So, let it sit at least 4 hours. That's my advice to you. Now, coloring. Let's talk coloring real quick. And then we're going to get into mixing the stuff up, pouring it out. And I got some dyes that are water-based specifically for this. And we're going to test and see how they work. But here is a color piece that I did from my other video. And you see, it's like a green. And I used mica powder to get this. Now, here's the secret if you want to. You can use mica powder. Do not use alcohol ink. Do not use, you can use pigment paste, but we'll talk about that. It's better if you use acrylic paint or a water-based colorant instead of pigment paste. But if you're using mica powder, you want to mix your mica powder in with your powder before you put your water in and combine it. Because remember I said it starts setting up really quick. So if you put your colorant in your powder, you have more time to make sure that's all incorporated before you add your liquid and mix it up and have to pour it out, right? So like bases to like base, meaning if you're using a powder, powder to powder. If you're using acrylic paint, you want the paint in your water. Same thing here. These are water-based inks. So you want to mix those colors in your water before you mix it in your powder. That way you're going to get a better, evenly coated color. And you're also going to make sure that's all incorporated and, not a glob here, a glob there, or powder clumps here and there. Okay? Does that make sense? Let me know. Are y'all still with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to do a solid color. Let's try that, shall we? We're going to try this green. And you know what? Heck nabbit. I knew it. Of course, it is not punctured. Shoot. I have to get my skizzers. All right, let me get my scissors. Y'all. All right, now. Shoot. Do y'all do that? Go to use something and you haven't opened it or snip top off? I know I'm not the only one that does that. Nab. Oh, there it is. 5 drops, what I put in there. Now I gotta clean my scissors. Because I have green everywhere. And I might as well snip open. That's purple. Where's black? Because I want to do a marble effect. I'm going to show you how we do that. So let me get it snipped open. Oh, never mind. I have used the black before. All right, so we're good with black. And the rest we're just going to do regular. So you see, mica to mica. That's how we got this. Okay. And something else. When you're mixed mica powder, you're going to have to add a little more liquid because this mica sucks up water. So it may take a little more liquid, but the more you stir this and use it, you'll know the consistency that it needs to be to better judge your water content. So I'm just going to put these here like so, get them out of my way. Now, I'm going to show you this in a minute, but let's mix this green. Stir it up. Make sure that this liquid is good and combined. I don't see any streaks or anything in there. That's a pretty little green, isn't it? And y'all remember, you're mixing with a white powder, so whatever color you put in, it's going to pastel it out. See how it's starting to lighten up like a sherbet color? And make sure you get all this out of the bottom because that powder is going to clump up down there. And you don't want to. And right now it's really liquidly, really. Y'all, it's Friday, isn't it? Holy cow. Do y'all have any plans for Halloween? Do y'all do trick-or-treating? Are your kids still young enough? Are you doing it with your grandkids? Do you sit out front, pass out candy? All right. I want to make sure that all this is. All right. So, see that? In that powder, I want you to see the difference. See the amount of powder to the amount of liquid that we have? It shrunk a little bit, and that's what I wanted to see. Some of these do have shrink rates. Let's just pour it in. We're just going to pour it here in our snowflake. Make sure that gets around that. Okay. Whoop. Now let's pour whatever in here. Ta-da! And you can scrape this out just like any other of our resin projects. We get every little last bit out, right? I have my handy dandy trash can sitting right here. I'm going to put all this in. But you don't need gloves. I mean, if you really want to use gloves, you can use gloves. But you don't need them because it's just plaster. I mean, you can go wash your hands if you're like a deep freak and you're like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to get this stuff on me. No way. So I'm going to set this to the side. And all I do to get bubbles out is just tap it. See, there's a bubble coming up there. This stuff is really good about releasing its own bubbles. And I just tap it. You know how our jewelry cleaners shake? That's all you need to do, really. Oh, that's not a bubble. That's plastic. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, why isn't that popping? But that's all you do is just shake it. Tap it on the side. And those bubbles are going to come up. If you have enough room, you can do it like that. Okay, so we're going to let that set up. And you're going to be shocked how fast this sets up. All right. Get that off there. Throw that away. Okay, so let's talk about how you marble things. Okay. Now this one, I am going to mix my powder first, and then I'm going to tell you how I marble. So let's get this. And I pre-measured all this. All I have to do is dump and stir. So y'all don't have to sit and wait and watch me measure both parts out, all that kind of fun stuff. Oh, that's so fun. A Halloween party at a senior home. That's awesome. What a great idea. I love working with our seniors. They're so fun, and I love just listening to them. They have so much knowledge, right? And they're hilarious. They just tell you like it is. They've been around too long. They don't need to sugarcoat nothing. Just tell you how it is. All right, so this is stirred up. Now, to marble this is all I'm going to do. And I want to make sure you can see this. I have my black liquid, and I'm going to put, ooh, that's not my black. Ooh, that was almost, oh, it is. Why does it look green up top? Weird. Okay. I guess it wasn't cut, y'all. All right, let's try again. I'm going to put 2 drops, and that's it. Okay. And now, this is where the fun begins. I'm just drawing lines. See that? And that's all I'm doing. See that? And I'm just going to pour it. Isn't that beautiful? Y'all. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to slide this back. And I'm going to make a little light bulb with this. Okay. That's all for that one. And I'm just wiping my stick off. Super easy. And y'all can reuse cups if you want to, because you just rinse it out with water and your cup is ready to go again. It really is that simple. Does that shock y'all? Isn't that beautiful? That pattern. And it's so easy. You saw just 2 drops. That's it. Drop, drop, and just cut in. I'm just drawing lines in it to get that beautiful marble effect. Gorgeous. So let's do just a plain white. And these are how I would do my blanks. And I'll put these guys out. Where's, oh, here's my other one. I have a little bear and I have a little kitten. And these are how I make my blanks for parties. You can do it as stocking stuffers. And I'll show you where to go. Here it is. I have this topper that you put on the Stanley cups. They're like little name tags, little ornaments. No, these are ornaments. These are not toppers. So these are little ornaments. You can make blanks and let your kids color their own ornaments. You know, using acrylic markers like we have here, or they can use acrylic paint and paint it. Whatever they want to do. And like I said, I'm just going. I want to make sure that all that powder is out of the bottle. Okay. So now let's just pour a blank. We're going to pour a blank light bulb. There we go with that. And we're going to pour a blank kitty cat. In these, you see the little eye holes in these? You can put little eyes in them. Pour a blank little bear. Oh, there's powder. I saw it. Did you see it? It's right there. Clumped in. So I'm just going to give that a quick stir. And I'm just going to pour the rest of these white blanks. These are so fun, y'all. Kids can help you pour these because it's just plaster. You just take them to the sink, wash their hands, and it's done. It's that easy, right? So, move this. No, don't jump in there. Move this out of the way. And I want to do some of these cute little Christmas decorations. All right, move this over. Move this over. That over. Let's turn these guys that way because I really want to get. There we go. Now, can you see that? Okay, you can see that. So I really want to. There we go. There's a little stocking. That's enough for that one. Okay. Enough for the stocking. Set this aside. Wipe my stick off. Let's ready for another one. Y'all want to do another marble? What if we do... Let's do this pink. Gotta shake it up. I don't really like this pink. Let's do purple. We have purple and pink. Why don't we'll do both colors? How about that? Yeah, we'll do both. Pink and purple as a marble. That would be cool, huh? Gotta chop the tops off. And I'll put a link to all this stuff in the description after we're finished. Okay? Just a white line. What do y'all think? Are you surprised how easy this is? Did you think it was going to be harder than this? All right. So we have purple ready. Let me wipe my. See that, y'all? Gotta wipe your scissors off. That's when you cut these inks open. And we'll leave it. But this is water-based, so I can get this off my scissors easy. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I love that light bulb. I think that's one of my favorites. Like a zebra. So cool. All right, there's that in this. All right. So we have pink and purple ready. Let's mix up our last that I pre-measured. And we'll do a pink and purple. So there we go. See how easy this mix is, right? It's like pancake mix. That's the best comparison. You want this to be the consistency of pancake batter. Maybe a little looser than pancake batter. That's a great way to explain this. It is just using powder and mixing water to get that consistency. Okay, I really want to make sure that I get all that powder off the bottom. Okay, we have our, see how loose it is? Okay, so we have that. We'll set this here so you can see it. We're gonna put 1 drop of purple, 1 drop of, oh, okay. Well then, let me pull this out because I did want that at all. And I'm going to use a different stick. Woo, y'all. And we're going to draw lines. That's it. That was crazy, y'all. And now we're just going to pour a mitten. Or a star. And I'm just pouring in the center and letting it do its thing. For a bell. Or a light bulb. Actually, maybe 2. Now, here's the other thing that a lot of people ask me about this. Can I get all of this in here? Yeah. All right, let me get that in there. It's not going to be full, but that's okay. No big deal. All right, let's wipe our sticks off. And I want to talk about some things while these are setting up. Now, the biggest question I get is, can I use this with resin? Oh, glitter. Thanks for saying that, Sam. Don't use glitter with this. Just saying. Don't put glitter in here. It's going to get eaten up and disappear. You'll be very shocked. Just like alcohol ink, you could put half a bottle in, and I don't know what happens. It all disappears like magic. Poof. Disappearing ink. Gone. So, no glitter in here either. Thanks for that reminder. Yeah. No. Okay. Now, can I use resin? Yes, you can. But there are certain rules. Like everything else that we do, we have rules, right? You can put resin onto this plaster-like material. You cannot put this plaster material onto resin. It won't stay. It's going to separate, pop off. It's not going to stay at all. Now, what I have done in the past is I have made ring trays like this in the plaster. And when I turned it over, I added some stickers. And then I poured a layer of resin to lock my stickers in place. That's perfectly fine. You can do that all day. If you want to put a decal down and put resin over it to protect your decal, perfect. Works great. But you can't come in with a resin piece and put plaster on it. Just won't work. One of those funny rules we have to follow. But those are the main things. You can pour big molds. I have some big planter molds that I've done before for a client who wanted it as a planter pot to go in her backyard. That's fine. You can do that. These can go outside. But remember, the key is you got to seal it. You got to seal it with beeswax is best I've found. You can use any water sealer that you want. It just needs to be a water sealant. I prefer beeswax. You just rub your fingers with a napkin on it and wipe it over. You can even use a paintbrush if you want to. And, do it that way. Make sure everything's covered and incorporated. But, y'all, that's really all there is to this. And you can see there's not a lot of shake or shimmy in this anymore. It's setting up. See that? How it's not really moving around. It's setting up just like if you're cooking a pancake. It gets thicker, right? It's not going to rise and be fluffy like a pancake. Making me hungry now. Pancakes sound good, doesn't it? But, y'all, this really is all there is to it. Once they're finished, like I said, I'm letting mine sit 4 hours because I have learned through trial and error. It's so exciting to be able to take it out in 30 minutes. It's wonderful, but it's so tender and brittle. Just like if you were baking cookies and you tried to pick up a chocolate chip cookie right after it came out of the oven without letting it sit for a little bit. Same thing. It's going to be real tender. It's going to fall apart and crumble. It's not going to be good. So we need to let these set for, I found my best time frame is 4 hours. Then I don't have to worry about tails and toes and wings and or any of that stuff losing it. Because I have in the past, and this is how I learned, used a horse. What do you call them? Y'all. My brain is like really foggy today. Having that brain fog from long COVID. Seahorse. That's it. I knew it would come to me. I made a seahorse, and you know how their tail curls up, right? Well, I pulled mine out 30 minutes. I was so excited. And guess what? His tail broke off. So that's how I learned that lesson. Oh, here's another thing. Can you brush your mold and pour this plaster and it transfer? The answer is sort of yes. It does, but it's not as vivid as when we brush a mold with resin. You will get that transfer, and remember, you're using a white powder, so your colors are going to pastel. Okay, so always keep that in mind. When you're coloring this, or if you brush your mold, your colors are going to pastel like this green did. See how bright this green is? And see how pastel it's turned? So keep that in mind when you're coloring stuff, that it is going to lighten up and be more pastel-y. But y'all, I love this. I love working with it. And let me tell you, for someone who is midlife heat waves, when this is cured, it's cold. It is wonderful. This is cold. It feels so good. So, there's another little plus from this. If you're like me, having those little heat waves, this is a good sign. In fact, let me show y'all real quick. And I don't, to be honest, I don't remember if I don't think I put beeswax on this one. So, acrylic marker. Right on it. See that? Let's use the other side that's thicker. Because this is an example. I'm not giving this away to anyone. So, let's say, see that? Ta-da! Easy. And if I want to color on it, cover that one up, ta-da! I can do whatever I want on this. I can draw a stick person with a little top hat. So, you see how easy it is for kids to decorate and how fun it is. These are water-based acrylic markers. So, easy cleanup. We don't have to worry about all of that, right? And kids have fun. They love doing art projects. In fact, let's do this. Because you see there's color on there. So if I want to move it around, create a pattern, whatever I want to do, I can do that. See how fun this would be for a kid? Plus, I have a lot of people that message me. They're upset because they had a reaction to resin. They can't do resin anymore. This is a way that you can still use all your fun molds and still do art. And you're not exposed to chemicals. So if you're pregnant, Great way. If you have kids and you want to do an activity with kids and not take the mama worry out, this is a great solution for that too. If you're going through chemotherapy, you can still do art. So, y'all, that's all I have. I will do a little short when these are cured hours down the road, and I'll show you just how easy and how they turned out and what they look like. Y'all, these are beautiful. I love it. But leave me a comment. Tell me, what is one thing you learned that you didn't know about using this magic fork? Waiting for you. Beautiful, beautiful. Goodness gracious, wow. I'd say I'm feeling better, but I'm still dealing with sinus junk. It's crazy. That was crazy. All right, y'all. I'm not going to keep you tied up. It's Halloween, and I'm sure you have lots of ghouls and goblins to get dressed and do your dinner. We had a tradition when my kids were little. I always made them pigs in the blanket. Easy finger food they could grab. You know, I could do makeup and get kids dressed, and they could still eat before we went out on the trails. No heat. Yes, that is great. No heat needed, and it's kind of cool, and I can still pour this. So, I have no worries with that either. That's a great point. But y'all, that's all I have for this one. I have some really fun stuff coming up. And be on the lookout because I used hand lotion and resin and made an etched glass effect on a coaster that I'm going to upload the how-to do that. So be watching. That's coming today. I almost have it finished to upload. But you guys, I appreciate you guys so much because without you guys, I wouldn't have the channel. I wouldn't be able to help as many beginners as we are. And I say we because y'all are part of the family too. Y'all help me. I help you. You give me great ideas. Hopefully we're making a difference. That's my goal. My only goal in this is to help beginners have less anxiety and fear around starting resin so they can get all the therapeutic benefits that we get from this art. It's wonderful. It really can make a difference in someone's life. And that is my wish for not just me, but for y'all too. So until next time, you guys, make sure you do all the YouTube things. Make sure you give us a like because that's how other artists find this video. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. That doesn't cost anything. And again, it helps my channel. I really appreciate you doing that. Until next time, you guys, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.